We can say hello, I guess.
Hello. I don't know. Hello. Is it started?
I guess.
Yay, it says you're now live. Hey, welcome everybody.
Our live button was gone.
Couple of minutes late because Facebook was playing hide and seek with the live button. But we found it. So,
They can't fool me for long.
Welcome. And I am going to pull this up on my phone. And hey, Judy.
I'm going to get everything set before I get on there.
So when you pop on, say hello, let us know you're watching so we can greet you.
And pinch you if you're not wearing green?
Yes, if you're not wearing, I'm wearing my green. I'm wearing my green Raincross Farms shirt. And this might be a hot mess craft, so I have my apron on. So welcome, Patty. Judy says aloha. Aloha. I bet you wish you were really saying aloha.
Well, she's saying it.
Okay, I am going to take a momento to share this out to
Hi, Cheryl.
a couple of groups. I'm going to share it there. And that's probably it.
I suppose I ought to share it too if I want to get my brownie points tonight.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Brownie points are always good. So, welcome everybody. And you know what? I've got those closed captions on my phone. So, what do? I don't
go to the three dots in the upper right-hand corner.
Okay, and if the three dots aren't there, you just tap the upper right corner and they will show up. And then I'm going to go down to turn off captions. So if you have the captions showing up, they tend to show up right across here. And it's kind of annoying unless you're hard of hearing and you need the closed caption. But that's how you get rid of them. Click on your phone, click on the three dots up here. If you don't see three dots, just touch right up here in the corner. Well, not that. Touch right up there. Don't allow. And it will pop down a menu and it'll say turn off captions.
Hi,
so, hello Cheryl. Hello Margie.
It all went poopy on us again.
Okay.
That's all right.
Not wearing green. Oh, if I could send pinches through the airwaves.
She's one of those kids in school.
Hey Don. Welcome. Okay, so I don't think I introduced myself. Probably because I recognize all the names, but there might be somebody out there who's hasn't said hello, and maybe it's because we haven't been introduced. My name is Robin, and behind the computer, behind the camera is Bill. Woo-hoo! And we are Raincross Farms Makery. We are just outside of Lewiston, Idaho, actually Julietta, Idaho, since we actually have a neighbor in the house. Let me say what. I think that's a dog. Is that a dog, Don? I am so far away that it kind of looked like a little devil horns. Wow. It's a dog. Sorry, I can't see that far. Anyway, welcome everybody.
Hi,
hey, Debbie. You were that kid. Oh no, Judy. Okay, so we are going to do, I haven't done ink on a t-shirt for a while, so we're going to do an ink project. And I have seen this done. I have never done it myself. It might be totally a hot mess. I haven't completely seen it done the way I am envisioning. So some of it is, I don't know how original it is. Some of it is not directly copied from something I saw, but doesn't mean somebody didn't already do it. But we're going to ink on a t-shirt. It's going to be an Easter t-shirt. And I don't know, I don't use this phrase, but apparently this is a very popular phrase, but did you die? And apparently it comes from, well, let's see if you know where it comes from. Where does this phrase come from? Hi, Nancy. Welcome. So anyway, we are going to change this up. And instead of D-I-E, we are going to use this Y. And we're going to make it D-Y-E, and it's going to have an Easter egg theme. So get it? That's the pun. Pun with
You're
ink.
so punny.
So, did you die? And I have seen this phrase out there in the crafting world. So, hey from Minnesota. You getting spring up there? Okay, so we're going to use this transfer. So, did you die? And we're going to utilize this. We are not going to use this. This is just the egg cutout. Like you can't see it up there, like we did on the project yesterday, but this is just going to be my template for what we're going to do. So first of all, I need to mask off part of my t-shirt. So this is Dollar Tree contact paper. So it cost $1. And I am going to trace around this because I want the outline of this egg.
Alana.
Hi, Alana. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. I hope you're all wearing green.
I
Okay.
don't know why.
Tell me in the comments, tell me what shade of green you are wearing. If you're wearing green. I think if you don't go out into public, you probably don't need to wear green.
I'm wearing multiple shades here, but I guess it's only one shade of green, but it has gray and it has black over
Kind
it.
of a mossy green. Kind of a camouflage. Mossy green. And I'm wearing, what is this? Kind of a evergreen? Spruce? Kind of a sprucey.
You want me to go to the TMS
Green?
colors?
No, thank you.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, that's
So
not quite 347.
I've got this traced out. This is going to be my pattern, and I am going to.
Oh, we got a lime green.
A lime green. Okay.
Of course, Alana's wearing lime green.
Okay. Patty
Silver
says she's
and
never heard of
emerald.
that phrase. Lime green, emerald.
Lime green in Minnesota.
Okay. Now I'm just starting this out with my X-Acto knife. And I'm going to switch over to
Snow is melting fast.
I'm going to switch over to my scissors and
I started sneezing so bad today with
pollen.
You did too. I heard you earlier.
Uh-huh.
Pollen in the air. Things are changing. We got our daffodils growing.
And my lilacs
Are starting
are
to pick out.
budding. So they will be blooming within a week or two. Okay, so I'm cutting this out.
It depends on the phrase, the where you're at in the bruise, how it changes color. Depends on where you're at
Of the
on that.
Well, yeah, as long as it's green. It could be a purplish green.
Oh,
Okay.
Judy's sister's in Michigan.
Come.
That's closer than us.
We are glad to have you.
So it's funny that my wife would say up there
Up there.
when she said, do you have spring up there when
Up
she's
there.
talking to somebody in Minnesota?
That's true, because I'm probably the same latitude, longitude. I don't know. I was never very good in geography. That is geography, right?
The
Okay, so I've got my Easter egg cut out.
that is
So,
an Easter egg cutout.
Yes, so
You got it.
next I'm going to, oh, I dropped my shirt. Okay, so this was, I just hit the microphone. This is a shirt from Walmart. So it was $5.44, long sleeve because it's still a little chilly up here.
Hi, Ms. Bender.
Hi, Patty. Okay, and I dropped it on the floor, so now it's got little pieces of Spanish moss all over it. Honestly, I thought I was being very careful with that Spanish moss. Okay, so this is the trick I'm going to show you when you're using an ink mat. So I'm going to turn this inside out.
So I was just looking on our map that I'm trying to put up on the wall here. Not tonight. I'm not putting it up on the map. But Renee, what part of Minnesota are you from? Or Nancy? Nancy. I'm sorry. What part of Minnesota are you from?
Okay, so because we're using ink, I'm going to use an ink mat for a couple of reasons. I'm using it on fabric, and fabric is not stable. It wants to bend and twist, and so this is a sticky mat. It's like a plastic mat. It's sticky. It's kind of like a cricket mat if you cricket, and nothing too special about it other than it's sticky. That will help hold the fabric still and steady when I go to ink it. It will also, in case any of the ink seeps through the fabric, it will keep it from going over to the back of the fabric. So I turn this inside out and put it face down. Now I'm going to grab these corners and flip it
Wasn't that
like
just
this.
slick?
And that way I'm not trying to wrestle this big old mat into the t-shirt. I do have to pull the sleeves out. So if you don't have a mat, you can use a cricket mat. You could also just use a piece of cardboard and just kind of tape it in there. You kind of want to tape the fabric to it so it's snug, so it's not moving when you're inking. Okay, so I've got that ink mat, and that is our 17 by 17 ink mat. And it fits pretty well in this t-shirt. And I'm still picking off moss.
That's what you get for using moss.
So I don't necessarily have to have this centered. You can see I'm a little bit off-centered. It doesn't matter where the mat is. It's where I end up putting the design. So what I'm going to do, I've traced my egg. It's kind of a big one. That's okay. And this is contact paper, so I'm going to pull this off because I want to mask off. I only want this area to peek through. And I'm trying.
You can do it.
Can do it. Okay, so trying to get this. And I want it sticky because I want to prevent the ink from going where I don't want it. Migrating.
Underneath.
Okay. Now.
These are all terms I've used in my class.
Okay. And I'm going to really try to do this and not make a big fat mess of it, but I might need a couple extra hands.
You need to come up and help?
Oh, I don't know.
You have to pay me wages.
For being on camera?
Yeah.
I'll see if I can do it.
See?
Whoops! I just ripped.
What happened?
I just ripped the contact paper. That's okay.
Oh.
It won't matter. I'll just have to make sure it matches up. So don't rip your contact paper if you can at all avoid it. I know you guys are thinking this is like a comedy show. You probably have a gazillion suggestions for me to do this better. Oh, trying to tag your sister in Michigan.
I get it.
Feel free to
I
tag
was lost.
anybody that you think would enjoy us.
I
Okay.
forgot to send Judy the information about the Easter egg hunt.
Oh, well. Okay, I'm going to unstick that.
There you go. You got
Okay,
it.
so
You got it.
now I've got it right side up, so I'm going to try to flip it over, and I'm, because it's so big, I'm going to line it up pretty high on this shirt.
Yeah, it should be right underneath the ribbing, most likely. Right, Daisy?
And
Daisy agrees, don't you, baby dog?
And this isn't crucial. I'm just trying to, and here's where it ripped. So I'm going to, so I'm hoping that is centered. So I've got that laid down. And I'm pushing it down. Pushing it down because I really don't want the ink to seep underneath it. Now, I had thought about, and you know what? Because that ripped there, I just want to be a little cautious. So I'm going to take some painter's tape and I'm going to reinforce it.
There's only one though, Alana. There's only one.
Keystone Cop.
Yeah, the Keystone Cop. I asked to go up and help, but she did not want my help because she was going to have to pay me scale wages.
Okay, so I had done a t-shirt before where I took our ink and I thinned it down and brushed it on, kind of like a watercolor. And I was going to do that, and I thought, no, I'm gonna do this. And I've seen somebody do this. I am going to take little spray bottles.
Okay. To see.
Spray bottles that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use 4 colors, so I've got 4 of these. So let's cross our fingers that these all work. You never know. Oh, I don't need scissors. So we are going to dilute some ink into these, and we're going to spray it into this egg hole.
And family show.
And if it comes out like I envision, it will kind of look like tie-dye. I don't know. And I'm going to kind of cover some of this up because I am afraid this spray is going to go everywhere. So let me get a couple of these mats just to block off anything else. Okay. We should be good. Let's see. How many of you, oh, did anybody know where this phrase comes from? But did you die? Honestly, it kind of restores my faith in humanity that some of you don't know where it came from. Have you heard it? Have you heard that phrase? The video's frozen. Hear you just fine, but the video's frozen. Okay, so lid's off. And I'm going to use some pretty Easter egg colors of ink. So I'm going to use Berry, which is a purple, and Couture Teal, which is a teal, and Bumblebee, which is yellow, and Couture Coral, which is a pinky, peachy color. Okay, so let's see. What did I do with? Pardon me. I need to get that ink closer down to the bottom. So instead of using my stir sticks, I'm going to use some of these wooden skewers. Okay, so I'm going to stir up that ink and I'm going to get a glob of it and
that's an accurate measurement, right?
Glob and stick it down there. Okay. And
Cheryl said she had to reboot her old computer. And Alana said she's heard the phrase but has no idea where it's from.
okay. Okay, well, apparently, and we have no first-hand knowledge of this. Apparently, it's from the movie The Hangover, which is, I guess, a bunch of kids and they go to Las Vegas or I don't know, frat boys or something. I don't know. Okay, this doesn't want to come off as well, so I'm just gonna
Google it, Cheryl.
So apparently it's a popular phrase from that movie. I don't know, but it's kind of cute. I could see somebody's mother saying, "But did you die?" Kind of like, walk it off. I don't know the context it is in the movie. It could be wildly inappropriate. I don't know. Hopefully not. Okay. So I'm probably putting way too much in here, but that's okay. And our berry.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you.
Uh-oh.
What are you two doing? These two are feeling
Frisky.
their oats tonight. They're wanting to play, aren't you? Crazy dogs.
Okay.
Maybe Cheryl or somebody will Google it for us.
Okay, so I don't know where we're at with our video time because now they're telling me that we have done 30 hours, which I know we haven't since we started this, but I don't know. But we are still working on earning getting stars. So if you don't know what stars are, content creators, people who do videos on Facebook, are at some point, for whatever reason, given the opportunity to earn stars. And it's just a way for viewers to kind of financially appreciate the people that they're watching. So it's kind of like a tip that you give to your waiter. Okay, I'm gonna stick that there. Okay, so this is distilled water, but I am most likely not going to put it back in the jar. But if I keep it, if I keep it and I have put it in distilled water, I can maybe keep it in liquid form. Okay, so I'm just shaking that up so that I have some liquid ink. And same thing with this one.
I've been working with the doggos here, but Alana says there's a group of guys who went to Vegas for a bachelor party. Says I did see the movie, but don't remember the phrase. It was 15 years or more ago.
Oh, really? Didn't know it was that old.
Patty said I never knew that. Not quite sure which one she was referring to. Cheryl said, I'd like to ask the pair, I've been in horrific pain since last night.
Oh, no.
Didn't get any sleep, and pain is back with a vengeance.
Okay. Can I ask where your pain is, or is is it your back pain?
Oh, no, pain is back.
Pain is back.
Yeah. Tammy says
Oh,
I see
sorry.
options in stars. Yes, thank you.
Yes, so if you no pressure, we don't want to sound like we're begging, but any stars that we do receive, they are going to go towards, we're going to recycle them into the business. And our first thing that we need to purchase is a computer that is dedicated to stay down here in our craft studio. Because if we need to use it upstairs and we unplug it, and then it loses all its settings, and when Bill comes back down to do a live, he has to reset everything, and it's just a giant pain. And one of these days I'm going to fall down the stairs with it and it'll break into a million pieces.
Cheryl says it's her back and both legs.
I'm sorry. We will certainly pray for you. Okay, let's get our yellow.
I can definitely relate with the sciatic pain I'm dealing with. It's actually quite debilitating. Oh, thank you, Alana.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the start. Again, no pressure whatsoever. But if you see people donating them, we very much appreciate it, and we thank you so much. But we are happy to just have you watching. But if the reason why we are bringing it up is because if we get $25 in stars during this month, they will double whatever we get. So if we were to get $25 in stars, they would give us that 25 and another 25. if we ended up with 100, they would double that and we would get 200. So it's a good deal for us. And if you are at all able to donate, we very much appreciate it, but absolutely no pressure.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. We're not keeping track, although I was thinking about doing a drawing for our star donators, but I'm still thinking that through. Okay, so let me get my pink mixed up.
Are you about done up there?
Cheryl, I would not recommend that. I think in the long run you would regret that decision, but I understand where you're coming from. Okay, so let's see. I think I've got that mixed up. Now, let's see if we can get it to spray. And I need to see what kind of a spray it's going to do. So I'm going to spray it into here. Okay, so that's kind of a wide spray. We'll see. I might end up getting a paintbrush, and I'm going to kind of...
Oh, that's showing up pretty good from here.
And I don't mind the drips.
The big drops?
Yeah, the big droplets. Okay, let's go to yellow. Okay, so, and I, just to make sure it works, okay, this is really drippy. Maybe this
Really
is
drippy?
thinner. Maybe it's
She used
thinner.
to say that about me too.
Okay, and I kind of want to block it a little bit. Ooh. Looking good. Go back to that coral. Darken that up. What do you think?
I think that's looking great.
So, and again, Dollar Tree sprayers. You get what you pay for sometimes. Okay, and let's spray this into here. Oops, I just dropped some blue, probably where I don't want it. Okay, that's pretty light. Oh, well, I didn't want to do that. Kind of want to ombre it. I'll fix that. And then let's go to our purple.
This is so watered down. Is it going to make a? I mean, it's supposed to look sort of pastel, but is it? Will this lighten when it wash?
When I wash it, no, it should not. Arm's getting tired. Okay. Now I'm going to go back over that blue and blend that because I had this. Whoop, this is very drippy.
Very drippy.
Very drippy.
I guess it wasn't. I wasn't drippy. It was drippy. That's
That is hard on my hand. Okay. Go back to yellow. Try to blend that a bit.
maybe that's
Oops.
needs that extra top.
Actually, I kind of don't mind the little drops. It kind of looks like spots. What do we think? Really tie-dye. Okay, that one doesn't want to.
Luana, how much tie-dye did you actually wear?
And I can tell you this blue, I would, you know, I think if I did it again, I would mix it with that darker teal. Okay, well, I think I'm going to stop. Okay, now I have all of this wet around here. And if I peel this off right now, it's going to fall onto the shirt. So I want to make sure I sop that up. And I'm going to cross my fingers that this contact paper held it from bleeding into the t-shirt. But if it did, that's okay. I will, I'll go around it with a border or some ribbon or something. Okay, so I think I've got all those, that excess droppage. Okay, so let me put this aside and this away.
Okay, do you reveal? Because me
Okay.
and Duke are going to go upstairs and stir the spaghetti sauce and get my drink, and then we'll be back down to help. Oh, I got to go down. Here we go.
Okay.
Your
So
hands are clean.
clean-ish.
Clean-ish.
Clean-ish. Okay, so a little bit of bleeding, but that's, I think it's okay. Not too bad.
That looks like an egg.
There we go. Woohoo! Okay. So now I'm going to dry this, and then with our ink is permanent. It looks a lot like our paste, but our paste is not permanent. Our paste is water soluble, and this is not. This is, once it's heat set, it is permanent. So I'm going to start, because I don't want to heat set it while it's wet. So I'm going to dry it. And there's quite a bit of water in that ink, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get that dry. I'm going to put lids on these. Now there's a couple ways to heat set this. See that other lid? There's a couple ways to heat set this. I'm going to use my Cricut Easy Press. You can use a household iron. That will work just fine. It takes a little bit longer, but the idea is the same. It's to apply heat all the way through the ink, and even though this is watered down, it will still heat set. It just is thinner and more transparent. So it's drying up. It's probably taking a little bit longer to dry because I have that plastic mat underneath. And I actually got a little bit of purple down there, but that's okay. I'll try to not heat set that, and it might not completely wash out, but that's okay. What do you think? Do you like these colors? You were a hippie. More tie-dye and hot pants. Hot pants. Straight hair. I did the straight hair parted down the middle. I don't know that I wore I wore some short shorts, but I remember the bell bottoms and the hip huggers. And then I remember when high-waisted jeans came in style, and I was just appalled. Like, oh, these are just so ugly. And then it's like, what were we thinking? Those hip huggers were ugly. Okay, so mostly dry. So I'm going to peel it off of the ink mat. And I'm actually going to dry it from the other side a bit. I'm just going to kind of expose it there. Now, ideally, you would let this dry on its own overnight, 24 hours before you heat set it, you'd get the best results with that. But if you're in a pinch or if you're doing a live and you don't want to make people wait, then you get your dryer out and you kind of give it a dry. Okay, that's pretty good. Still slightly damp, but not too bad. Okay, so now I'm going to, oh, and my heat press just went off. I'm going to get my heat mat out, and I'm just going to stick this in here just so, because it is still a little damp, I don't want to accidentally press any of the ink into the back. Okay, so I've got a heat mat in here, and my press is warming back up. So my heat press, I'm going to press it at 350 degrees for 30 seconds in every part. So this is bigger than my heat press, so I'm going to have to do it in a couple of sections. And I am going to cover this with parchment paper. You want to use parchment paper, not wax paper. You want to protect the ink from the heat, and you want to protect the iron from the ink. You don't want any of the ink to adhere to your iron plate. So you use heat press. Parchment paper, not wax paper. Or if you have a silicone Teflon sheet, that would work too. Okay, so I'm at 345. So with t-shirt material, 350 works great. If you were doing a more delicate fabric, I would tell you to lower the heat, use less time, and do it several times. So if you were doing something with that's a little more delicate of a fabric, you might bring it down to 325 and do it in 15-second increments and do that a couple of times. The egg needs a chick in the middle of it. Well, when I put it on, I'll be the chick behind the egg. Okay, so heat press 350 for 30 seconds in each area. So I'm going to move it and
It's all right.
just
Click
unplugged.
the wrong button.
Okay. Now, if you just have a household iron, you'll set it on medium-high heat, not high, not screaming hot. No steam, no water, and you will just, again, you'll use the parchment paper, but you'll keep that iron moving for about 4 minutes all across the surface. You keep it moving because on your household iron, they are generally built for steam, and so they have the steam holes in the bottom. And if you don't move it, you're going to press those holes into your fabric. This is a completely flat surface, so I don't have to move it around. And I don't have to apply pressure. It's not like heat transfer vinyl or anything like that. So household iron, medium-high heat, no steam, 4 minutes, both sides, if you're able to do both sides of whatever it is you're inking. Heat press, 350 for 30 seconds in each area. Okay. Now this will be hot. And you can kind of see that's just the moisture in there. That will, when it dries and cools, you won't see that. I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
I would
A little
still
bit.
think that.
I think it's just because the ink was not completely dry, so that's just moisture working its way out.
By the way, I'm glad I went up and stirred the spaghetti sauce.
Was it burning?
No, well, it's not burning, but it was
It's
getting
getting
reduced
close.
down real well. So it'll turn it down a little bit more.
And we're having spaghetti sauce because I needed big tin cans for a project we're working on. Okay, I'll be really sad if that doesn't come out, but I'm sure it will when it cools off. Okay, so this is cool. not cool-ish. I can touch it. And I'm going to, we're not done with this. We're
You
going
could always
to,
put like eyes on it, make it look like a helmet.
I could. I'm not going to. Okay, so I'm going to stick this back in. So I'm going to show you the difference. I guess it's not too bad. You know how
It's a big shirt.
the first time I did, I turned it inside out. Well, that worked pretty well. So I'm not too worried. Okay. And I've got some fuzz in there. Spanish moss strikes again. Okay, so this is heat set. I could wash this, throw this in the washer. It's not coming off. So now I'm going to use our But Did You Die transfer. But I'm going to not do the I, I'm going to do the Y. Now the Y is a little bit wider, so I'm going to actually have to kind of scoot it all over. So you'll see what I do. But I'm going to make a play on words because, get it? It's an Easter egg. And did you die? Get it?
You're doing it funny.
I am.
You're so funny.
Okay. So on fabric, I don't need to fuzz because the fabric is fuzzy. Put that over there. And I'm going to center this like that. Actually, I'm going to go up a little bit. And I'm going to push that down, and I'm sure I'm going to forget. So I'm going to take my tape and cover this up to remind me to not put ink there, because I'm going to put that on later. Okay, so I'm pushing this down. I want this to adhere really well to the fabric because I don't want my ink to seep underneath. Okay. And I think I was debating on doing it in black, but I'm thinking I might do it in Tide. What do you think, Daddy-O? What do you think? Tide or black?
You got enough contrast in the Tide, if that's what you want to do it in, yeah.
I thought it might be a little less stark. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to do Tide. If you are interested in this transfer, brand new. If you're interested in this transfer, you can type the word dye, D-Y-E, in the comments, and I'll send you a cart link. Sadly, all of the ink colors that I'm using, except the Tide, are out of stock. But they should be back in within 2 weeks. Fingers crossed. But I didn't want to wait to do this project. So I'm sorry I'm doing something that is not in stock. But it should be soon. And if you're really dying to do this and you want to use some of the colors, contact me and I'll see what I can work out. Okay, so this is Tide ink. And I'm going to use a small squeegee. And I'm just, when I'm inking, I want to just go in one direction. I don't want to go down and up and left and right. I want to just go, pick a direction and stick with it. That will that will lessen the chances of you pushing it out and it bleeding through where you don't want it. Now I am going to go up this direction because I can get a better angle. Okay, so I do want that D. And needing a little bit more. Oops, I just said don't go up and down. Pick a direction.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Something like that.
Not the first time we've been that way. did that with our kids our whole lives, I think. I will say that I don't have the color settings very good on the overhead camera. That looks really blue, and it's actually not. It's quite teal in its color.
Okay, so I've got that covered. I'm going to scrape off the excess, put it back in my jar because I can use that. And I'm going to need it because we're going to do the rest of this. Okay, so
Go back.
hold on.
Clean them
When
fingers.
you're doing ink, if I get ink anywhere on this, it's pretty much going to be permanent. I don't know if you can see, I kind of have some purple down here.
Overspray.
I'm going to not press that, and hopefully when I wash it I can get some of that out, or at least lighten it, but it will stain. So before you pick up your transfer, you want to make sure your fingers are clean so you don't get any ink where you don't want it. Cute.
That looks good.
What do you think? And whatever this stuff is, hasn't lightened up yet, but we still have to press it one more time. Okay, I am going to clean this because I'm going to use that Y again, and I don't want to smear ink all over my project.
Where'd she go?
So I clean these the exact same way I do with paste. I'm going to spray it with water. And I'm going to start with let me bring my extras down. I'm going to start with I have no water in there. That's why I have a bucket of water. I didn't get that prepared. I am unprepared. And I'm going to put a little bit of water in there.
Maybe someday we'll get it set up where you have a sink down here. That's down the road a ways.
Okay, so I'm going to take my Swedish dishcloth, which is like a reusable paper towel, and I'm just going to get that top layer of paste off, or ink in this case. Okay, and then I'm going to switch over to my board eraser. Same thing with paste, and I'm basically cleaning out the screen and cleaning off the top of that surface, and then I'm going to flip it over because the ink likes to seep under here. And I'm getting off any fuzz that got put on there, that got stuck on there from the fabric. And once my screen is clean, I am good to go. So I'm going to, because I'm going to use this again, I am going to take a paper towel and dry this off. Ordinarily, I would say let it air dry, but because I need to use it, and it needs to be dry before I use it, I'm going to use a paper towel to just dry that off. And even then, it will still be a little damp, so I'm just going to kind of wave it around and air dry it. Don't use your dryer on this though. You will melt your transfer. Okay, so I'm going to bring.
We have heard on good authority that that's what happened.
Yes, we have. Somebody needs to send me a picture of it, but somebody told me they used their heat gun, not just their drying tool. They used a heat gun to dry their transfer, and it was not pretty. Okay, so set that aside. I'm gonna hit this with a dryer, just because I don't want to smear any of the ink when I lay the transfer back down. But I'm gonna take this Y and I'm gonna swing it down here instead of the I. So let's see. Great color. Yes, I'm glad I did this instead of the black.
I would think so also.
Okay, I think that is dry enough for this. Now I'm going to bring the Y down here.
I think we lost video again, but we'll see what happens. I'm letting it ride.
No, come back. Come back.
Yeah, we
I'm
lost it.
flashing. Lost, or?
Almost.
Okay.
It's blinking at me, but let's see what happens. Hey, blinking, is that you?
Okay, so I'm pushing. If you're there, I hope you're there.
Is he here? Yeah, they should be there.
Okay, so I am, again, I'm not going to use this O, and I'm afraid I'm going to accidentally, yeah, I hear you. It's awfully close, so I don't want to accidentally get ink on it. So I'm going to just put a little bit of tape down, and I'm just going to do that Y. Get in there. So I've got the
You're
Y.
doing pretty good there, baby. Keep it up.
I'm getting ink all over me.
That's why you're wearing your apron.
So while it's wet, it comes off of your skin. But when it's dry, it's not going to come off of the fabric. So there's the Y. And I'm going to put this there. I'm going to spray that. I'm trying to think this through. Okay, this is still wet. So I want to dry that up a bit because I'm going to put a transfer back down on it.
Well, it says we have 8 people watching, and then 12 at one point. So hopefully you haven't lost people to take that.
No, I hope not.
That's part of the game.
Okay. Now I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to line up the E and the question mark. Oops. Push that down, and now I'm gonna don't want to get that I, so I'm going to tape that off. That is lifting this up a bit. Okay, here we go. Yay, yay, yay. Scrape that off, put it in the water. Put my lid back on. Clean off my fingers. And let's lift this up. Get it? But did you die? D-Y-E?
I get it. You made a punny there.
I made a punny.
You're so
Okay.
funny.
So I think we're not done yet, though.
Oh, of course not.
I think we're not done yet. I'm thinking we need to make this a little bit more Eastery.
A little more
A
easy.
little more Eastery. So, what did I do? I probably dropped some. Yeah, stuff all over. Let me focus on doing one thing at a time.
What is it you need? Is it something I can help you
It's
find?
the transfer that I need to look for.
Okay. Daddy's laughing at you. I'll have you know.
At the clown show.
Well, if she wasn't laughing at you, I wouldn't be.
You would
So
be. Okay.
we're good.
Let me look for what I'm looking for. Looking for what I'm looking for. It got buried. Here we go. Okay, so I also put in that cart link this set, the Hippity Hop transfer, because it's got a bunch of cute little Eastery things, and I think we need some little bunnies.
I think you are right.
We need some little bunnies and maybe not carrots. Do we have any? And some eggs.
Them in black.
Some egg. Do you want them in black?
I think those are. And I think you ought to just stick with the bunnies. I don't know.
Just
You
the
need
bunnies?
eggs.
You don't need the eggs? Okay. So do I want a tall bunny here?
Yeah.
And the short bunny here?
Yeah.
Or do I
Yeah.
want an Easter egg up there?
Oh, there you go. That might work.
Okay.
That might work good. Is
Okay.
everything dry?
Dry-ish.
Dryish.
Okay. And do we want these in black? Are we sure?
Mhm.
Are you sure we want them in black?
You know, this is your baby. I threw an idea out there, but that's all it is an idea. And it's worth everything you paid for. What you
I'm
paid for.
thinking,
You go to bright colors. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe do the pink and then maybe,
The repetition of the
Okay.
colors in the egg.
okay. Okay, so I've got tall bunny. Well, they're both kind of tall. And I'm going to use the Couture Coral. Oh, cute. Cute,
That's
cute.
so cute.
Cute, cute. Okay. And
Pink and blue, Cheryl says.
pink and this blue? You think that blue would show up over there? Okay, I don't want to put this down because there's ink on that. So let's use our Couture.
In my opinion, they're probably not supposed to stand out. They're supposed to just sort of be a subliminal kind of thing. Easter egg up top. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Okay. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. Do I want Easter eggs? I think we need a couple of Easter eggs up top.
Right then. Go for it.
Okay. So let's put that one there, and should we do him in yellow? Yellow?
Boys used to say it that way.
Yellow. Whoop. Pardon me. Dropped my squeegee. Yellow egg. And dry this.
Kid just contacted me and said he's doctor thought I was doing a special diet without walking twice a day.
Ken?
He's walking it. At 6 o'clock. He said, I'll be back on, but right now.
Well, take your phone with you.
It's not good. But you know what? I'm proud of it.
Good. Good for you. Well, we all say hi to Ken. Everybody say hi to Ken. We'll pass it on.
Type it in there and say hi to Ken, and I'll send him a picture of it. All the comments, everybody saying hi to Ken.
Well, he'll see it when he watches the replay.
I told him we miss him, but keep it up because that's a good thing, and it's more important than watching our Keystone Cops.
But we miss his stars.
We do. We miss him
And his stars.
and his stars.
Okay,
there goes
and
one.
I'm
There
gonna
you
go.
I'm gonna take a photo of it and send it to him.
And
And
I'm
I
gonna
get all
go.
these comments up
I'm
here.
gonna go back to the teal. Okay, I think we are done
Hi, Mike Rincon.
thinking. Hello, Mike. It's going well. There we go. But did you die?
No,
Get it?
I did not.
Get it?
You're so punny. I'm telling you.
I know.
I told everybody the reason you're that way is because you had to live 40 years with me.
Yeah, it's contagious, I guess. Okay, so before I do the final heat set, I'm gonna give this a dry. And you know, I actually kind of like the raggedy edge. I thought it was gonna bother me. But hey, if anybody's looking at your shirt that close, they're too close, right? If they're 6 feet away, they're not going to see that. Okay, again, the best practice is to let this air dry overnight, but we're not going to take that long to do that. So I'm going to pull this out.
You're not gonna make people sit online and watch it dry overnight?
Nope. Okay, and you can see that it picked up a little bit of that ink. So that's why we use it, so that didn't get onto the back of the shirt. Okay, and I'm going to get my pressing pad and I'm going to stick it in there because I don't want any of that ink that might still be wet to get over on the back. Okay, and my heat press is still at 350. Same thing, I'm going to repress it. Find my parchment paper. Cover it up. And again, 350 for 30 seconds in each section. I'm glad you love it, Cheryl. Are you going to make one for your grandkids? You're setting up a yard sale at the church?
Well, he's probably wanting t-shirts to set up a
Oh.
yard sale. Because Greg Lori is going to be in Boise this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
we know where that is.
He'll be in April 23rd, 24th by the looks of it. Actually,
We are there
the
the
22nd.
22nd and 21st, 22nd.
21st, 22nd, yeah. So, Mike, are you setting up the yard sale to be able to travel up this way? Why, she says you doubt you do any. Is it just hurting too much?
Oh, at Mike's house? Your house?
The yard sale. I'm assuming.
My grandkids in white shirts don't go. You know, I bet you could do it on black, but I'm afraid if you watered down the ink, it wouldn't be as vibrant.
So
But
don't water it down as much.
maybe you could try it on a black shirt
Or
or
what if you were to try to
bright
do the
pink or
flicky?
something.
You know how you did the flick?
Oh, that's true. You could do the with
You know,
the with the
toothbrush and flick it?
toothbrush. Or you could kind of paint it on, but you do kind of want to thin it down a little bit. But you might try it and see if it works on a colored shirt. And it's not like they're going to wear them forever, right? I didn't set that timer. So I'm sure that's 30 seconds. Okay.
Kim says, are we still on? Yes, we're still on.
Everybody said hi to you. Okay, so you can pretty much tell when it cools off, if it's no longer tacky, then it is heat set. I'm going to turn this inside out, especially because I have 2 layers of ink here. I'm going to turn this inside out and press it from the back also, just to make sure all of that ink is set.
Lana says you can do it on a navy blue shirt too.
That's true.
Actually, any color would work.
Oh, you could do the white ink. You could water down white ink on a colored shirt and
See how that bled through? You put down some ink tonight.
I did. Okay, and same thing on the back.
Thanks, Ken.
350. Thank you.
I'm sorry, 350.
350 for 30 seconds in every section. Some designs will fit, depends on your iron. And again, if you're using a household iron, medium high and no steam, and keep it moving. Use parchment. Keep it moving for about 4 minutes. Again, when it's cool enough that you can touch it, if it doesn't feel like tacky, then it's heat set. And it's not infusing, but it is basically melting that ink into the fibers. It's not infusion, like infusible ink. It really doesn't become one with the fibers, but it does kind of melt them in there. It's not going to feel like a sticker. Sometimes when you get something that's been screen printed and it's kind of thick, it feels like a plastic sticker. You don't get that with this.
This is actually dyeing the threads.
Dyeing the
That's what it's
threads.
doing,
Okay.
yeah. On screen printing, we use something called plastisol, which is actually plastic when you heat it. That's why you get that sticky and it doesn't breathe well.
Yep. So, and this does not.
Wow, Cheryl.
This doesn't get. It doesn't crack. You know, sometimes when you wash it and it stretches and you dry it, and it really everything I've used it on, it doesn't. It doesn't crack. It doesn't peel.
It actually acts more like a dye sub would than a screen print would.
Okay, so we are done.
All right, let's
And
do it.
I already showed you how to clean the screen. Same way when you do it with paste. But here is. But did you die? Does that not look, except for that right there? I'm gonna go around wearing this, and I'm gonna have to put my hand there because I got purple. That's all right. Anyway,
You're so funny.
I like that. I'm impressed. I did good. I did good. What do you think?
You know, honestly, on the screen, at least on my screen, it looks better in person than it does on the screen, and it looks good on the screen.
Up close, you can see this egg is yellow, but you can't see it from a distance. But that's okay. Anyway, I hope you like it. But did you dye your eggs?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to pose.
You do that. You do a fine job of posing there.
Okay, and again, if you are interested in this transfer, but did you dye, or the hippity hop one that had all those little bunnies and all those cute things, type in the word dye, D-Y-E, in the comments, and you'll get a cart link, and you can go shopping. So anyway, that's it for tonight. We busted out an hour and 15 minutes.
And again, thank you for the stars.
Yes, thank you for
sticking with us.
Thank you for all of you that donated stars. We very much appreciate it. And we will be on again, I believe, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. And he's looking at me like, what? It won't be in the morning because he's got a doctor's appointment.
That's
so
right. I got my eye doctor.
It's our trip. It's our trip into town. Did you see did you hear what he said? He's got the eye doctor, so he can't see doing anything else.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Anyway, thanks so much, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And I'm going to post this on the website tomorrow. Not on the website, on Facebook tomorrow. And anyway, have a great rest of your evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.